Guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be doing a little link check shorty situation here. So yeah, this is my hair. This is a curly length check. Of course I will be doing a straight hair length check at a later date, but this is my hair. I am at 6 inches curly, so if I take a measuring tape, measure my hair, it's 6 inches. 6 inches is collarbone length. I like to go by, I don't like to do so much of the ruler situation with my curly hair. I more so like to do like milestones, like where on my body it lands. So my hair is at collarbone length. If I had to say what my curly goal is, my curly hair goal is curly waist length hair, just like long curly hair. Waist length is usually like under my boob, but in the back at my waist. If I had to say what my hair goal is, curly hair goal is, it's under my boob in the front and at my waist in the back. And as we spoke about in my last video, I do have a little bit of heat damage or heat trained hair, whatever you want to call it. Majority of my hair is the same texture, but there are some sections that are not, such as the front on this side. As you see up here, you see a lot of texture. That's my natural hair texture in the front. And as you see, like when it gets to about here, it's straightish, weavish. This is all, I would say, heat damaged. On this side, I would say all of this is my natural texture. We'll get right out here, I have a little bit of heat damage, and then it gets back to my natural curls right here, and then it goes back to being a little heat damage here. Those are the main ones. And then the last section is, if you can see from the back, I have little tails. These little longer sections are also a little bit of heat trained hair because they used to be like more spirally. So I would say these sections in the back, or these little tails here or whatever. But I would say the bulk of my hair is at collarbone. If you ignore this, it's like all the way down here. I would say majority of my hair like is about here. Even here, if you ignore the hair, this is like a little bit of heat damage. If you ignore these pieces, the bulk of my hair is at my collarbone. So that is the length of my hair right now. I'll give you a little texture shot. This is the texture, and all this hair is my natural texture. I would say these parts are not heat damaged at all. And my hair is very moisturized, so it's very defined. So all this hair in here is my natural texture. So yeah, I would say the heat damage mostly is here, here, and back in the lower back corner, like right at the nape. Like it literally is like about here, this little section right here. And I would say it goes on both sides. In the back, it's like an inch of my nape, I would say, is a little heat trained, whereas the front, I would just go ahead and say heat damage, especially this section. But yeah, bulk of my hair is collarbone length, I would say. A little 360 for you guys. Again, goal is under boob in the front and waist length in the back. It applies the same way to straight hair. If I were to like pull my hair to the front straight, it would come under my boob if it was waist length, and if I threw it to the back, it would come down here on my back. Boobs give a little lift, so it changes some of the proportion. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a curly 360 for you guys. Ta-da. So yeah, that is my curly update. I decided that I'm gonna start straightening my hair myself like I used to. If you guys remember, I used to straighten my hair myself on 380 degrees. My current flat iron doesn't go to 380, it goes to 375, which also something that I used to do is 375 with my Baby Bliss. It goes to 375, 410, and 450. I'm not gonna do 410 or 450 obviously, so I'm gonna go to 375, which is a decent heat temperature. If you guys don't remember, I used to flat iron my hair on that temperature and I never had heat damage. My hair was very thick and my curls were very tight, and I always reverted back 100%, like 100%. So, and I always just like, you know, very lightly flat ironed it just to get it straightened up to trim, because I've really thought about this, guys, and I don't think I'll be able to trim my hair blow dried or curly. I've gone through my wash and go and like looked at, if you look at my hair curly. There's section, especially the crown, that if I were to pull it, it's hard to tell. Like, it's really hard to tell, like, because of the texture, the frizz can be mistaken easily for damage. So I don't want to risk cutting too much length off curly, even though I would love to trim curly. It's just something that I'm not comfortable doing. I've tried it in the past and it didn't work for me, and I just don't want to risk losing length and having a whole issue. And then the same thing with just doing my rev hair. My rev hair gets my hair pretty darn straight, but the ends are still like not as crisply straight as they could be, as you would if you were to flat iron. And I just don't want to risk accidentally cutting more than I need. Like, my goal is to trim my hair every 2.5 months, so that I basically, okay, like for example, my hair right now, it's, if May 1st my hair is 12.25 inches and I trim 1/4 inch off, it'll be 12 inches, right? May 1st. June 1st, it'll be 12.5, and then July 1st, it'll be 13 inches. If I wait another 2 weeks, which is July 15th, it'll be 13.25, and then I just trim that quarter off. So I'm always landing on a solid number. I'm always landing on 12, 13, 14, 15 inches, and never land on a odd number like 13.5 or 12.75 or 14.25. Like, I never land on a in-between number. I always land on a solid number, which was my goal, so I can have a milestone every time I straighten my hair and feel like I'm gaining something. Or, you know, gaining a milestone every time I do it. So I straighten my hair so it feels worthwhile. So that's my goal. And I'm afraid that if I try to do it on like blow dried hair, I'll end up trimming too much and trimming like a 1/2 inch and throwing myself off and trimming more than I need, essentially. So you really only need 1/4 inch every 2 to 3 months. So I'm pretty much going to be trimming every 2 to 3 months. So every 2.5 months, which I think 2 weeks isn't gonna do much of a difference versus the 2-month mark that I was doing this in the last 1.5 years or so. So yeah, that's the changes that I plan on doing. And so yeah, in a couple weeks from now, by May 1st, I will be straightening my hair on low heat, and showing you guys how I trim my hair myself again. There's gonna be a change this time versus the last time. Before, I used to like really care about making sure my ends were even and everything was all even and everything was like proportioned and everything. I'm not so much worrying about proportion at this point. I want to get to my hair goal. At this point, I want to get to booty length, okay? I'm not really worried. I mean, I care about shape, I care about fullness, I do care about evenness, I'm not gonna lie, but the care that I have isn't the same that I used to have. I don't have like an obsession with it like I used to anymore. So like, I really just want to just trim what's needed and just do it section by section. You'll see when the time comes when I get to that point. Basically, girls like Beauty by Kersha or even Mia Nicole, they trim their hair section by section and they're not overly worrying about how even it is. I would say Beauty by Kersha is the main one who like literally just trims what's needed section by section and doesn't go back and try to make everything even or even things up or anything crazy. Here you can see how even though she hasn't trimmed evenly, she's trimmed section by section and taken off what's needed, it still looks really, really full. Therefore, it doesn't even look like it's uneven because the ends are healthy. Hair grew really fast, really long, and I know my hair grows really well. It's a matter of how much I'm cutting off. So yeah, just stay tuned for that. Those are some changes. I'm not going to be like I said, I'm not going to be overly cutting my hair. My goal is to get my hair to my hair goal, which is butt length or 24 inches. And so I'm gonna just go ahead and straighten myself like I used to do, which I know works for me and doesn't cause heat damage, so my curls can grow back. And I've done it before where I had heat damage and I started straightening on low heat, grew up my heat damage, my hair was really, really tight, and that was like during that time where you guys saw that my natural texture was at its flourished form. So yeah, I'm gonna just go back to the basics and do things myself. So I just wanted to add that tidbit in there so you guys are prepped for what's to come. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one.